Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and today we are starting another week of vlogging and I have some sad question mark, I don't know, it's news. I got laid off yesterday and that was a crazy experience. That was my first time ever getting laid off. I was absolutely not expecting it. And yeah, just still kind of in shock. Like I woke up this morning, like, I don't know, just like all of yesterday, I was like, oh my God, I don't have a job anymore. So utterly strange. All of the things that I've had like moving in the front of my mind truly for work are just wiped. Well, they're not wiped because they're still there, but like I'm in the process of wiping them. So this week is going to be my personal reset, getting through this and getting back on my feet and like figuring out what all of this means for me and what my life gets to look like now. Dan and I had a conversation yesterday like about our finances and like figuring, you know, that part of it out, because that is obviously a huge part of getting laid off. Like you suddenly don't have a job. Like to think that I was just feeling like I got this like new spark for my channel to like change up my content so much, and then, you know, my soil went away, again, not my choice, and then now my job went away, not my choice. It just feels like something out there, the universe or whatever else, is kind of like removing things from my life that were holding me back, even if I didn't know. I get to rediscover myself, which is something I'm so privileged to do. And I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity to just be able to exist in time and space for a while. And it's also somewhat convenient and also actually awful that this is happening right before the holidays. Because I'm not in a super huge rush to find something else, because you end up taking a lot of time off for the holidays anyway, and I just don't want to add more stress. I have a couple months to just like figure out what I want to do, and I have this really great, incredible idea that I want to spend the next couple of months like really diving into and putting everything I have into it and seeing if it will produce something that I could live off of. But that's not right now. This just happened yesterday, so I am just needing to like reset my nervous system, because to be honest, it was very mentally draining and hard to work corporate, especially after living a self-employed life. Like it was really hard. Of course I was willing to do it. I showed up every day, happy to work, but it was definitely tough sometimes, especially being a mom. Like really never seeing my child was the worst part of it all. Now I get so much time with her back. She's still going to school, but I can pick her up whenever I want. Like that's just the best feeling in the world. So this is my first day unemployed and I'm just resetting. Like I have a huge list of things that I've been wanting to do for months, since the beginning of the year when I started this job. And I just would like to take the time to like write them down and find a way to like work them into the next couple weeks of my life. So I'm not doing it all at once, but one of those things is just resetting my nervous system. And so today I'm going to mow the lawn, which I love mowing the lawn. It's one of my favorite household chores. And today's a great day to do it because it's like 60 degrees and cloudy, so it's just perfect. And I have some weeds that I really have been needing to pull. So I'm just gonna be outside and be in nature, which is something that I just did not have the ability to do working this job, which was probably one of the biggest nervous system shocks to me to begin with. Because if you remember my life in Missouri, I was building my greenhouse and I was gardening and I was walking around our property all the time, and I spent so much of my day outside. And then I moved here and then I got this job and I spent 9 hours a day in a building, and then by the time I could go outside there was mosquitoes and it was like dark and, you know, all of the things. And of course we make excuses, but it just, the amount of time that I spent outside was so significantly reduced that I think that it had a huge toll on my mental health. I just want to get back to that. I just want to be outside. I want to ride my bike. I want to get my hands in the dirt. So that's what we're doing this week, is we're just reconnecting with who I am. And I hope that you can take this time watching this video to reflect on like who you truly are outside of work, outside of like physical obligations, because trust me, I know it is extremely hard to connect with who you are when you have these obligations. And not everyone is awarded an opportunity like this to get laid off and then not be extremely stressed about getting a job immediately. So my channel, you know, my Instagram and like all of these things have definitely helped a little bit with the buffer there. So I'm extremely grateful for the people who are here watching. And I am just excited to have an opportunity to revisit and reinvent me. So let's go mow the lawn.
You didn't know back then what you've been knowing now. Before the broken skin and letting your love out, playing the tape again. It's such a sorry sound. Old shaky moment.
Hello? Yeah, this is. That was HR. I was chatting with them about a few loose ends, and all good. Let's get back to mowing.
Shaky monologue, just dragging you around, reaching for reset, reaching for.
I just spent like 3 hours, 10, it was almost 2 o'clock, and I got out there at like 10. 4 hours doing yard work, and it felt so good. It is nice to just like exist, not stress, you know, because if I had spent 4 hours doing yard work before, I would have just been thinking about how I could have spent that time editing, or I could have been doing this, I could have been doing that, like, but I need to make myself something to eat. I am going to make a grilled peanut butter and jelly. We forgot to get lunch meat during our last grocery cycle, so I've been doing this and it is so good. It's basically the same principle as a grilled cheese, except instead of there being cheese inside of the grilled bread, it is PB&J. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, today's been a weird day already, and it's only like 8:30. There's like all the different stages of grief. I think I was just like in shock the last 2 days. Maybe I still am a little bit, but I think right now I'm like deep in the mourning stage, or the sadness, or whatever that is. I'm having like a war in my head over the whole situation too, because while of course like the day-to-day was like good at this job, it wasn't my dream job. Like my dream job would be working for myself. The weirdness in my brain is happening because it's not as if I thought about this job as being like the pinnacle of experiences. Like it was a job, yeah. I enjoyed it most of the time. Definitely there were days that were like very hard, and it was never my goal to be there for the rest of my career. So in my head, I like shouldn't feel this way, because I did, you know, fantasize about being self-employed again, and like just being at home and not having to wake up so early and seeing my daughter more and like all of these things. And then now like I have that opportunity, I just like feel like so in shock and sad and weird. And it's only been 3 days, you know, it's Wednesday, it happened on Monday. I have to give myself time to like grieve, because like I was talking to Daniel about it last night, like why is this affecting me so much? And he was like, well, you don't like change. Like this was definitely a change, and a change that you didn't choose. So that could probably be a big reason why this is like so upsetting and strange to you. And like, I do think he's right. I think because of like the not having a choice thing and not feeling like I got closure, like I didn't, everybody was like kind of put in a meeting, or I don't know. Nobody was around when it happened. So I didn't get to say goodbye to people that I've spent like the last 10 months with every day, and like learned so much from, and heard about their families. Like, of course we weren't best friends, we were coworkers, but still like you create like a sense of camaraderie. And like I've mentioned before that I worked at like a creative company, and there was always like a lot of like sewing and embroidery and quilting going on around me, and it was just like really cool to be around people who have been like doing these things for decades and like worked in the industry for decades. Like as an entirely like self-taught person, it meant so much to me to like be in the room with these people and like learn from them. So I think it's like just honestly the loss of that is like the most impactful to me long term, like emotionally, I guess, because I didn't get to say goodbye, anything. You know, it's just weird. So this morning I woke up like upset. I just haven't slept well since this happened. I've been having nightmares and can't sleep, like blah, blah, blah. So I woke up this morning and I was just really sad, and I had the thought that since like I'm not gonna like physically go to the office and say goodbye to people, but maybe I could just like write, you know, thank you letters to people, because I don't want to burn bridges. I would love to like keep these professional relationships as much as everyone's comfortable. So I just wrote some thank you notes to a few of my coworkers and colleagues, and I'm gonna give it to one of them who I do talk to on the outside to pass around. And that made me feel better to just like write what I would have said to them in person, because I am so grateful for everything that they taught me. And it just feels wrong to leave and like not say anything to them, because like it's not their fault what happened. So anyway, I'm gonna meet up with her at lunch and give them to her, and a few things that I forgot she's gonna give to me. It's like a breakup. We're exchanging our stuff. But yeah, it's like kind of chilly outside, so I was gonna go outside and like pull more weeds. There's like a whole section of my yard that I haven't touched since we moved in that I've like just been putting off, but to be honest, I feel like laying and crying, and I know I should probably let myself do that, but I just don't really want to. I have to like undo the like training, I guess, that I put my body under to just like go, because this is my time to just like decompress and like chill. So that is a trip for me. Very, very, very hard to just sit and sulk. But that's an update from like the emotional side of all of this. Yeah, I truly like, I can't even say I wasn't expecting to feel this way, because I didn't expect any of this to happen. Never been laid off, had no idea what this would even feel like. So I guess this is how I reacted. How I am reacting to being laid off. Okay, we're gonna take a small break from the sadness of this video to talk about the thing that has been sort of my like beam of light in this whole process, to remind me that there is hope, and like, not that there is hope, but that there is something good on the other side of this, and that is Squarespace is sponsoring this video, so thank you so much to Squarespace. But before I got this job in January of this year, I was building out on my website a page for plant interiors, De La Planteriors, and I was so excited because it just felt like so fresh and fun, and I love building out plant displays, whether it's like actually building one from scratch or building one from furniture. I just love finding unique ways to show off plants. And so I thought, how about I do that? Because I had to pivot in some way. So I decided to build out this page and see if it could turn into anything. But before I could really dive into that, I got this job, and I was really just needing to focus on what would be the most stable thing. So I put the Planteriors thing on the back burner, and I didn't think about it again until the Saturday before I was laid off, which is so crazy that it all happened that way. But I remembered that I made this page on my website, which I'm going to be showing you, and I'm so happy that I did that. It was so much fun to like build the page and use all of the different elements. So with this business model, I am now offering services, so it's even more important for me to have really strong SEO so that I can be searchable. And this is something that I'm still working on. Like, there's so many features that I haven't entirely tapped into, but I'm so glad that Squarespace has them to make it that much easier for me. With Squarespace, every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more, so that you know that you're actually going to be showing up in searches for your ideal clients. With this new service, I'm going to be doing invoices, and I can actually do that all inside of Squarespace. It makes it so easy to get paid for your work. And also, if I ever wanted to do like continuing education for clients who do work with me, like if I do a plant installation and I want to offer them like, hey, here's a Plant 101 class, I can also sell content on Squarespace. So I can upload videos and other content and it can all work together. I feel like in every life stage of my business, I'm finding a new really great way to use Squarespace, and I love that Squarespace is growing with me. I say this in every video, but it truly is like the all-in-one platform to grow and develop your business into whatever you want it to be. So if you're in a similar place where you're kind of starting over career-wise or you're shifting, I highly suggest you check out Squarespace. They have really beautiful templates to get you started, and the whole process is honestly very, very seamless. So I have a link in the description box below. You can click on that, and then you can use the code BeccaDeLaPlants10 and you'll get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Welcome to the secret garden, y'all. Oh my gosh, there was a mosquito on my arm. Ugh, it's October. Why are they still here? So this is a part of our yard that we did not know about when we bought our house. I don't even think that our realtor knew about it. Yeah, obviously, because he would have shown it to us. So yeah, nobody knew about it because it's like walled off by this fence here. And we don't know exactly why, but we're like assuming that they had pets, that they just like didn't want to ruin things, so they walled this part off. I feel like if we ever get chickens in this house, this would be the perfect place to have them, except there's some ordinance that you can't have them within like a certain number of feet from another residence, so like it wouldn't work. But this would be so nice to put chickens in here, because my dogs would probably chickens, because that's just like the kind of dogs they are. Cocker spaniels, poodle, like they're hunting dogs, and my dogs definitely have a high prey drive, but like they've never actually ever something, but I don't want to find out if they would via my pet chickens. You know, I just have a sneaking suspicion that they would terrorize them. I got this tool, which is terrifying. There is a spade on one end and then like a fork on the other. This has been really great just in this like small section that I've sort of like tested it on. We have an irrigation line, which I need to be mindful of, but mostly it's just weeds and grass that hasn't been taken care of. And yeah, this whole area is very unloved. And oh my gosh, look at this irrigation line that's just sitting here. I'm so confused by all of the different lines. I don't know why this is not on something, but anyway, I just need to be a little bit careful as I'm doing this because I don't want to ruin the irrigation. But yeah, let's start pulling weeds. You guys what advice you had, like how did you recover if you've ever been laid off. And there was some really great responses. I'm just going to go through and just like find some themes. There were so many responses, so I'm just so grateful. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you should. It's just day of the plants. The first one says, take a vacation, especially if you got compensation or a severance package. This next one says, grieve, give yourself a few days to feel bad, but with a deadline. I think this is really smart. I definitely told myself that all of this week would be my time to just mourn that time in my life. Like, even though and it's silly because I wasn't like the happiest I've ever been while I was working this job, but it is just weird to like have your life change without your consent, you know? So there was definitely some grieving that happened, and I do feel like I spent my time grieving, and now moving forward, it's go time. Like, let's hit the ground running. This one says, I enrolled in a free horticulture program for adults and slept a lot. I love this so much because I think that times like this, if you have like the financial availability and freedom to just spend like even a month, like there was several people that messaged me and they said, you know, I took a month to just like reconnect with myself, and then I got a new job and I feel really great. So I do think like spending time just reconnecting with your hobbies and the things you enjoy, like taking a pottery class or like those things that you just genuinely don't have time to do when you are working like a solid 9 to 5. Someone else said home projects, adding shelves to a new room. Someone said walking on the beach, allowing myself to sleep and cry and do nothing, yoga and meditation. This person said, I can't help. I had a full-blown crash out. Literally, that was me on like day 1 and 2. I was like, this cannot be happening to me. This is so weird. I set aside 1 hour a day for outdoor time with no tech. The daily brain bath was needed. This person says, give yourself time to adjust to the change. I let things I enjoy overtake and overwhelm me. Yes, relatable, especially as someone with ADHD. Like, as soon as I was in a better place, I was like, okay, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this. And it is a little overwhelming, like all of the ideas that are coming to mind. So I do need to like remember to pace myself. This one says walks with friends, doing something I love or different than I couldn't do if I were working, binge watching New Girl, a lot of verbal processing. Yeah, I think that the verbal processing is like really a key part of this. And that's why filming this video has been so helpful for me. Because, you know, I don't have a ton of friends in person here, and Daniel's an amazing partner, but I'm sure after a while it's like, hey, like, we're still crying. I'm a crier. But no, it is good to like have that verbal processing and just like spend time wallowing in it and thinking. Also knowing it's not on you. It was a business decision. Feel all the feels, but don't take it on. This is another part of it that was really hard for me. Just knowing that this was not personal and not performance-based. Like, they did say that to me, so that makes me feel better. And I just have to believe that and just move on, because I have been getting caught in a loop of like, well, I could have done this and I could have done this. And, you know, why was I the expendable person? And I get caught in that thought process a lot. And that's probably where I get like the lowest emotionally, like, because I can just sit in that and think that I failed in some way. I just really don't take failure very well. And I just have to remind myself that this wasn't like my failure. Lots of people have experienced this and are going to continue to experience this. So I hope that like if you have been recently laid off, then you can watch this video and sort of like process, like maybe this can be a part of your process of processing the layoff. It is really heartbreaking and weird to have your life just sort of like flipped out from underneath you. But this has been such a blessing to me, and I already know that. Like, I knew that even hours after. It just took me a while to like fully live into that. I do feel so energized about what's coming and the future of my business and my life, and like all of the time that I just got back. It's just another opportunity for self-discovery. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And again, if you have been laid off recently and that's how you found this video, hello, welcome. If you are wanting to get into hobbies, this is literally the best channel you could possibly be watching, because all I ever do is hobbies on this channel. I do plants, I sew, I garden outside and grow food, I do home decorating stuff. Truly, like, if there's a hobby, I am dabbling in it and I'm very much enjoying it. So this is a great place for you to sort of like maybe watch someone else do a hobby and figure out which one you might want to do. Probably more of you are just coming because you subscribe to my channel. So thank you for being here and being a supporter on this channel and watching my videos, because that is part of the reason that I'm not like mega stressed about this whole situation. It helps so much that you watched at least like until the end and watched the video, etc. Like, thank you so much for doing that. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. It's gonna be a fun one. Bye.